Well, that was a very pretty introduction. I thought I'd try something else. I don't really like that. Got some other ones that are kind of cool. This one's pretty cool. So, all right. First thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to put some in chat. All right. If you click on that, you can actually join me in studio, which means you can come on and with me and speak if you would like to. I wanted to give it a try, open it up. This is just like a little test, and I think chapter 5 is a good one. Hi, Chris. Good to see you, man. Sorry, I missed your call. And I haven't been able to listen to your message, but I tell you this: don't worry about anything, man. It's all good. Um, yeah, you guys, when I do my podcasting, I found um, that if you force it, it doesn't quite work. You know, and there's never any rush. Things get done in God's time. I'm perfectly fine about that. Although, and I certainly wasn't disappointed. I don't get that way. Um, so yeah, Saturday afternoon probably wasn't the best time to do this, but nobody ever accused me of having good timing. So, and I thought how it works would be a good place. So going back to basics, people like to talk about it. Um, things are kind of weird. I'm just getting like weird stuff over here. So hopefully everybody can hear me okay because I'm showing that the sound is kind of janky. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm gonna probably post this when I see more people joining. If you want to speak on it, hit that link, and you will be in studio with me. Um, I was just talking to a friend of mine. I want to give a shout out to somebody. His name's Adam Armstrong, and you guys have probably seen him on my page. Um, yeah, he does the IFI motivation. He has raw real life recovery. This dude is crazy. Um, he's got several different channels, and so does his wife. And I'd invited him to a group that I am not an admin of. And he sent me a message, and I really appreciated this. He said, "Hey, are you the admin? If not, can you just make sure that it's okay? Um, that it's okay that I post my YouTube stuff because I get in trouble for that, and I don't want to cause any controversy." And first of all, that should never be a problem. In my group, I there's all sorts of stuff that's posted there, and I appreciate it because then you guys are getting more information. And that's what it's all about is creating that recovery equity. There's a lot of places that I don't post to because I get all butt hurt. And I just don't want to deal with it. Okay. Well, you're breaking our rule. And what it really comes down to is control. Well, this is my group. And that in and of itself right there is no thanks. I don't want to be a part of it. Okay. Trudging Together has like 5 admins. Okay. They do the other stuff. But hurt is the word. Thank you, Adam. Good to see you, man. He's the guy that I had a feeling he was going to join me on this one. Um, you know, here's the thing. I used to run what's called live action role play, LARPing, and I wrote a book on it, and it was a lot of fun. I loved it. I loved it too much that I can't play anymore. It's addictive. But what I notice is these geeks would come in, right? Highly intelligent people, very all of them a lot more intelligent than me, right? But the thing is, they'd always been picked on or put down, and da 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 da. I noticed when they got power in the game, they didn't know how to handle it because they'd never been in that position before. Okay, so if you haven't been in that position before, what I would recommend is checking up on some like leadership stuff and what a leader is. Okay, dude. Yeah, meow your face. All right, let's get to how it works here. Hey, Gary, good to see you. All right, chapter 5, how it works. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. All right. So because I do what it is that I do, I am open to all pathways of recovery. I'm open-minded to it. So I'm going to let you know now that AA is not the only way. It's not. That'd be silly if it was. But you're still going to do this work. The work doesn't change. Any successful program that you're going to go through, you're going to have to do some work. Period. All right? So it doesn't matter what program you're in. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path because we made it. So we should utilize that. And people who can't do that are people that cannot be they're constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. Okay. What does that mean? That means we have gotten to a point in our drinking or in our addiction that we're so far in our addiction that we're in this little place called denial. Okay. Addiction is one of the only diseases that tells you you do not have a disease. It will try and convince you of that. Why is that? Who wants to admit they're a drunk? I mean, heck. Or I know Gary's here, or even people and overeaters. Where people with addictions were taught that these are bad people. I remember being in the Boy Scouts and we go downtown, do some cleaning up, and they'd always be like, stay away from the homeless people and blah blah. We never got bugged by any homeless people. They'll rip you off and try and steal you. No, I've been part of the homeless community. They don't work that way. Doesn't work that way. So that means when we first get here, what I like to call it is we're as honest as we're capable of being. And at this point, most the answer is going to be, I don't know. I'm going to let you know that I don't know is a perfectly honest answer. And probably the best answer, that'd be the best place to be in at starting the program, is just admitting, maybe I don't know anything, and started a clean slate. Give yourself that chance. Yeah, I think you deserve it. All right, they're such unfortunates. They are not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. They are naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. All right. Now, my wife is a normie, and she doesn't have to go through a lot of this because she already understands. Like, the way I approach her now is the way that she's always approached me. Does that make sense? See, she was already doing it. That means from the time I was born, I was a lying asshole. No, but it's fun to, we got to crack some jokes here, right? Their chances are less than average. They're talking about hopeless drunks there. There are those too who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. And that, my friends, is very, very true because I'm sitting here. Okay. You guys already know I deal with anxiety. Heck, I was still in PTSD mode when I went to my meeting because I got up at 12:19. I'm like, I don't want to. My thought process was this: I don't want to have to look for a Zoom meeting that doesn't fucking exist this afternoon. And I wanted to see my friends. So I hopped on late and didn't woke up doing my meeting, man. What, isn't that probably the safest place I could be anyway? So our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we are like now. That is a description of what you're supposed to say in a meeting, right? So you disclose in a general way what we used to be like, or a speaker meeting would be a good, right? If you have decided you want what we have and are willing to go to any length, then you are ready to say, take certain steps. Willingness, man, it will carry you so far. And I'm not saying it'll only carry you so far. I'm saying it will take you a very long way just by being willing and open to that willingness. Okay. So if you're willing, okay, to go to any length, we're not asking you to go to any length yet. See, when we got to this point in the book and I was doing the first step, my sponsor asked me if I was willing to go to any lengths at that time. And I told him yes. He says, Dion, I'm going to ask you that question again at some point. And when we were doing the third step, he said, okay, Dion, here's the question again. We've spent some time together. We've done some work. Are you still willing to go to any lengths? My answer was yes, because we're getting ready to do the fourth step and you cannot have any reservation. At some of these balked, we thought we could find an easier, softer way, but we could not. And there are plenty of people just as smart as you that tried to find an easier, softer way. Bill W. couldn't find it. Dr. Bob couldn't find it. Ebby couldn't find it. Thousands and thousands of hundreds of millions of people couldn't find it, but you're going to be the one that figures it out. No. It's not going to happen. With all the earnestness, so they're begging you, right? We beg of you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us tried to hold on our old ideas, and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. Those old thoughts are going to come back up. That's why we do 90 meetings in 90 days, to remind you every single day of why you are doing this. Why? Because our forgetter works great. I've seen some people just miss one day, and that's all it took because they were so close to the next drink. Remember that we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, and powerful. Without help, it is too much for us, but there is one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. Half measures availed us nothing. Nope. You put half of your effort into this, you get nothing. You don't get half of it. You get nothing. Okay? This is you're either pregnant or you're not kind of a situation. There is no gray. There is no in between. You may think it, you may put yourself, but it doesn't exist. Okay? We stood at the turning point. That's a crossroads. That means that we were going to make a decision. What is step 2? Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over the care of God, right? Actually, that would be 3. Here are the steps we took, which are suggested as a program of recovery. I'm not going to go through those, or this will be about an hour long. Because covering all the steps is that's a lot, man. I would have you guys would be like, yo, would you just stop? So many of us exclaim, what an order, I can't go through with it. All right. You don't need to worry about it, because all you need to worry about is what's going on right now. Right? And right now we're sitting here talking. So you don't have anything else to worry about. You don't have to worry about the rest of these steps, just the one you're on. Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect adherence to these principles. We are not saints. Okay. The other day I said we're not saints. And people were like, well, yeah, but people can be saints. And no, we are not saints. Nope, not. Maybe someday after I'm dead and gone, sainthood would happen. Okay. But I certainly wouldn't want it. No. I see too much control. I see too much power, and I don't want it. No, thank you. The point is, here's that willing again, that we are willing to grow along spiritual lines. We haven't even asked you to do it yet. Just asking you to be willing. The principle we have set down are guides to progress. We claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. Gary says, there is an easier way. Do nothing. Don't change. Don't do the work and stay the way you are. Unhappy. Yeah. It's one way. I found the program's the easier, softer way. Now that I'm in it and I've done the work, it's much easier. But I get what Gary is saying. If it's not working for you, we will refund your misery. Right? What is the cost of coming into the program? Well, what we would like to do is we'd like your anger, your rage, your depression, your resentments, all your selfishness, all of that. We want you to get rid of it and be a happy person. That is the cost. Okay. And if you'd like to pay that cost to get serenity, we will do it for you, but we will also refund it. Actually, you do the refund yourself by walking away. All right. The description of the alcoholic, the chapter to the agnostic, and our personal adventures make clear 3 pertinent ideas. All right. A, that we were alcoholic and could not manage our own lives. You guys know the ABCs are steps 1, 2, and 3. I'm presuming you know that, but that's what they are, right? B, that probably no human power could have relieved our alcoholism. And C, altogether now, that God could and would if he were sought. What does he say in The Lost Boys when he's getting ready to eat the rice? How could a million Chinese people be wrong? A million Asian people or whatever, right? Well, how is it that hundreds and thousands of people found a way, but you need to be terminally unique enough that it's just not going to work for you? See, one of our best excuses that we have is that you just don't understand. It is what we use, and we are very, very good at it. But then one day you're going to come across and meet somebody like myself or Chris or Gary or Adam or anybody else that's been watching this, and you're not going to be able to use that excuse. Instead, you'll probably use a different one, such as, I'm not willing to be helped. That's the one I love. That'll get rid of most anybody. Not me. You know what I'm going to do if you say that to me? I'm going to ignore that you said it. I'm literally just going to ignore it. And if you say it again, I'm probably going to continue ignoring it. Okay? Just because you're not willing does not mean I am not going to plant a seed. In fact, what you're saying to me when you say that, I'll tell you what you're saying. You've been to treatment at least 3 times. That this is not your first round. You've been in therapy for probably 10 years. Because otherwise, how would you know how to say that? You ain't gonna fucking trick us, right? So the Nile is not a river in Africa. So you know what? Gary's talking about it. Try it for 90 days. If your life doesn't get better, go back. But do the work, right? Yeah. Now, opinions are like assholes. but we'll use excuses on this one. So excuses are like assholes. People are getting butt hurt. So, all right, guys. That's what I wanted to say on it, and I wanted to. I was hoping people would have joined me on the side there to talk with me. But all right, guys, thank you for being here and everything that you do. Adam, Gary, Chris, and then my unsaid people that were here. I appreciate it. All right, we will see you guys tomorrow. Love you. Have a day.